There was a moment. You might not have noticed it when it happened, but looking back, you can pinpoint it exactly. The moment you went from being his priority to being his backup plan. The moment his texts started coming later. His effort became optional. His attention arrived only when nothing better was available. You didn't do anything wrong. You simply became comfortable to him. And comfort, without respect, is the beginning of being taken for granted. You stayed. You adjusted. You told yourself it was just a phase. But somewhere inside you knew something had shifted, and you didn't know how to shift it back. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how that happens, why most women never catch it until it's too late, and what you can do starting today to make sure you are never anyone's option B again. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share is going to change how you see every relationship you have ever been in. This is not a video about revenge. It is not about making him regret anything or playing games to reclaim his attention. This is about understanding one fundamental truth. You cannot be option B to someone who was never option A for you. And the moment you accept that, everything becomes clearer. I have worked with hundreds of women who found themselves in this position. Intelligent, warm, deeply loving women who gave everything, and slowly, without noticing, became the person someone called when their first choice fell through. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to recognize the signs before it goes too far, how to reclaim your position without chasing, and how to become the kind of woman who is never an option, only a choice. I want to tell you about a woman named Renee. She was 47 when she came to me. Warm, generous, the kind of woman who remembered everyone's birthday and showed up without being asked. She had been with a man for 8 months. In the beginning, he was attentive, consistent, present. Then slowly, so slowly she almost didn't notice, the effort faded. He started canceling plans last minute, responding to her messages hours later, making her feel like an interruption in his day rather than a highlight of it. She adjusted. She made herself more available, thinking that would help. She asked for less. She stopped mentioning the things that bothered her because she didn't want to seem difficult. And the more she shrank, the more space he took. Until one Friday night she found out, through a mutual friend, that he had spent the evening with someone else, someone he had never mentioned. She had been waiting at home, assuming he was busy. She was option B, and she had been for months. Let me explain exactly how a woman becomes option B, because it never happens all at once. It happens in small moments, small adjustments, small silences where there should have been a boundary. It starts the first time you accept less than you deserve and say nothing. Not because you don't notice, but because you don't want to rock the boat. Then it happens again, and again. And each time you accept it, you teach him, without words, what you are willing to tolerate. And people, without exception, will give you exactly what you are willing to accept. The shift from option A to option B is never dramatic. It is a series of small moments where your needs came second, and you allowed it because you valued the relationship more than you valued your own position within it. This is not a character flaw. It is something most women are taught to do from childhood. Put others first, keep the peace, don't ask for too much. But here is what nobody tells you. The moment you stop asking for what you deserve, you stop being someone worth fighting for. Not because you are less valuable, but because you have shown him that you don't believe you are. How do you know if you are already option B? Here are the signs most women ignore until it is too late. Sign number 1. His plans with you are always flexible, but his other plans never are. When a man cancels on you repeatedly but never cancels on anyone else, he is showing you your place in his hierarchy. Not with words, with his calendar. Sign number 2. You find out about his life through what he doesn't tell you. You hear about things after they happen. You are not included in plans until he needs something. You feel like you are always one step behind in a relationship that should feel like a partnership. Sign number 3, and this is the one that hurts most. You feel relieved when he shows up. Not happy, relieved, as if his basic presence is something to be grateful for, rather than something you simply deserve. That relief is the clearest signal that you have already accepted option B status. Because a woman who knows her worth does not feel relieved when someone treats her decently. She expects it. So what do you do if you recognize yourself in any of this? You do not confront. You do not issue ultimatums. You do not chase. You simply, quietly, firmly, without drama, raise your standard. You stop being available every time he decides to show up, not to punish him, but because your time is genuinely valuable and you start treating it that way. You make plans you don't cancel. You fill your life with things and people that matter to you. You stop rearranging yourself to fit into the spaces he leaves available. And you watch what happens. Because a man who is taking you for granted will notice the shift immediately. He will either step up because he realizes what he is about to lose, or he will fade. And both of those outcomes are better than staying option B. Renee did exactly this. She stopped being available on short notice. She made plans for Friday nights whether he was included or not. She stopped following up when he went quiet. Within 3 weeks, he called. Not texted, called. And he asked, "Is everything okay? Because I feel like something has changed." She told him calmly, "Yes, something has changed. I have. I want to say something that might be uncomfortable. Sometimes the reason we accept option B status has nothing to do with the man. It has to do with what we believe we deserve. If somewhere inside you there is a voice that says, maybe this is the best I can get. Maybe I am asking for too much. Maybe I should be grateful for what I have. That voice is the real problem, not him. Because a woman who truly believes she is option A, who feels it in her body, not just her mind, does not stay in situations that treat her as anything less. She leaves, not dramatically, not angrily. She simply stops showing up for people who don't show up for her. The work is not fixing him. The work is becoming so clear about your own value that option B becomes unacceptable. Not because someone told you it should be, but because you finally feel, in every cell, that you were born for more than this. Renee sent me a message 6 months after we stopped working together. She was not with that man anymore. She had ended things, not in anger, but in clarity. She had met someone new, someone who made plans and kept them, someone who introduced her to his friends in the first month, someone who made her feel like the obvious choice, not the convenient one. She said, "Sarah, I didn't know what option A felt like until I stopped accepting option B. I thought what I had before was love. It wasn't. It was just familiarity, and I had confused the two for years. I want that clarity for you. Not just in your relationships, in every area of your life. In your friendships, your work, your family. In every space where you have been quietly accepting less than you deserve. You were never meant to be someone's backup plan. You were meant to be someone's first call, first thought, first choice. And the moment you start living like that is the moment everything around you begins to change." If something in this video landed, if you recognized yourself somewhere in Renee's story, leave me a comment below. Tell me where you are right now. I read every single one. And if you know a woman who has been quietly shrinking herself, trying to hold on to someone who stopped choosing her, please share this with her. She deserves to know she was never option B. She was always the first choice. She just forgot. Subscribe if you haven't already. Every week, honest conversations about the love you deserve and the woman you are becoming. I'll see you in the next one.